Welcome to a video on Invention and Innovation. This is for GCSE EdXL Business Studies and it's topic 1.2 showing business enterprise. This is specifically designed for the students who are on the A-star downwards GCSE rather than those on the 9 to 1 new GCSE. As always with any of my videos, I'm going to talk reasonably quickly, so what I'd like you to do whenever there's something that you're not sure about is watch it again, maybe rewind and fast forward certain bits that you're unsure about, use Tutor to You, Be Business Be, GCSE Bite Size, any of the other resources which are on the internet to find out about any areas that you're particularly struggling with. If you're in any one of my classes, then by all means just come up to me and ask me any questions about this. What's really important is that you take this video and turn it into your own resource using your books and any other information that you've got. It has a greater power when you have converted the information here into your own words. So that is the strongest recommendation I can give you. So let's crack on. Invention and innovation. There are two key terms, and if we just focus on the first two there, invention and innovation, we'll come on to the other three later on. Invention, the process of coming up with something new. Innovation, transforming it and selling it to customers. They're the key words that you've got to pick out there. That's what my students recently have been really struggling with. So let's look at a few examples here. First of all, we're going to start off with an invention, and we're going to go straight into space, and we're going to go join Tim Peake, who is on the space station, talking about his invention, not his invention, the invention, the gyroscope, which is this device here.
If you knock it, it's going to tumble, it's going to move around like any object up here does. However, if I get this spinning, just give me a second. So once the gyroscope is spinning, you can just see how stable it becomes. And however I knock it, it's not going to...
So we have an invention there called the gyroscope, and as I just stopped Tim Peake there, incredibly rudely of me obviously, but as we stopped Tim Peake there, if we just consider this invention, the gyroscope, can you identify or are you aware of any inventions which have come about? Now obviously he said that these gyroscopes are used in space, and on the space station itself it's used so that the space station stays flat, as it were, no matter what angle it's moving through space at. So can you think of any way, or are you aware of any way that these gyroscopes are used, as we just get back to this presentation? So here we are. So hopefully you've given that a little second thought. If you want to pause the video and give yourself a bit more thought, then that's absolutely fine. When I'm thinking about inventions, I like to think about mad scientists. I like to think about people in a laboratory coming up with a completely brand new idea. The person, and I don't know who it is, who invented that gyroscope had absolutely no idea that money was going to be made from his invention or her invention, because it was put into the swagway. So inside those swagways, every swagway has gyroscopes in there which allow the swagway, no matter the fact that you're leaning forwards, leaning backwards, it keeps the swagway balanced. And it allows the swagway to operate so that people can use them and get around. Now, the invention here, the new idea, was the gyroscope. But the swagway used that invention to sell, to turn it into something that could be sold to customers. That is absolutely what you're going to be questioned on. If it comes up in the multiple choice exam, that's what they're looking for. Invention, new idea. Innovation, being able to create a product which can then be sold to the customer. So we've got a few more here, and I've got some pictures which were on a slide which I did with one of my classes, and we were trying to link up the inventions to the innovations. So if you just have a quick look at these, I suspect that there's a couple that you might be struggling with. So we've got over here the first telephone, or at least that was a picture I got off the internet about the first telephone, and then down here we've got Charles Babbage and one of the first computers, if not the first computer. So can you link the invention up to the innovation? Take a second to pause the video, and then I'll show you the answers, and we can take it from there. Okay, so hopefully you've had a bit of a think about this and you've tried to work out which are the innovations and which are the inventions. And so let's have a quick look at the answers. So our inventions were the engine, Alexander Bell's telephone, Charles Babbage's computer, some Velcro and the LEDs. And what innovations came from them? What products were then sold to customers? Well, the internal combustion engine led to the Airbus A380. It led to many other planes as well and many cars. Alexander Bell's telephone has led to the mobile phone. Now, obviously, within that, there's been other phones in other iterations of the phone, but that doesn't matter. Alexander Bell created the telephone, and now we have mobile phones. The telephone, the original one, was the invention, and then people took the idea, changed it slightly, moved it on, and sold it to customers. That's the important bit. Charles Babbage's computer, he had no idea when he created that we were going to have tablet devices and the mobile technology that would exist today. Absolutely zero idea. But that first invention of the computer has allowed us to have products which we can buy as customers, and therefore that they are the innovation. Velcro, fantastic invention, but of absolutely no use whatsoever until somebody took it and put it on a coat, took it, put it on a watch strap. It's just a scientific idea until somebody innovates it and turns it into a product that can be sold. Invention, LEDs, so light emitting diodes, used hugely and extensively now in bike lights and car lights because they can be made super bright. So invention, new idea; innovation, taking that new idea and creating a product which can be sold to customers. Now, a lot of discussion comes around invention and innovation, and say, let's just pick the telephone there. Some people will say, well, hang on, we had his original telephone, but then did he not sell his original telephone? And I'm not quite sure what the answer is to that. Did Charles Babbage sell that original computer? Was he the inventor, and then did he also innovate by selling it to the to first set of consumers, as it were? And I suppose to an extent the answer is it doesn't matter. People get really bent out of shape thinking about invention and innovation in those terms. In the exam they will play about with the words a little bit, so if we just have a look at the next slide, the discovery of new processes, and innovation is transforming it and selling it to the customers. So a typical question would be, bringing a new product to market is called, and what they're asking there is this product being sold? By bringing the new product to market, is it being sold to the customers? If it is, then it's innovation. And the answer to this question was innovation. If they were to say coming up with a new idea is an example of, it would be invention. And they just play about with these definitions a little bit. But as long as you can get in your head invention, coming up with something new; innovation, selling to customers. Right, now we're leading on to protecting those ideas. So there are 3 ways to protect ideas. Because there are 3 ways, it leads to a few questions which will come up. So do expect to see this in your Unit 1 multiple choice exam. So first one, we've got patent. Patent is there to protect inventions. It's a right of ownership to your own invention. So if I come up with a new idea, I have the sole right of use to my idea in the UK for 20 years. And it's a UK exam, so we are just focusing on the UK. So if I come up with something new, I can protect my ideas, my inventions, with a patent, and I get, as it says there, sole rights for 20 years. Copyright, books, music, film. So anyone who writes a book, if they want to protect what's in that book, then they need a copyright. And if we think about movies, that sort of thing, you can look for the copyright if you've got any textbooks around you now. If you look within the front, the first page, second page, I think it's commonly known as the copyright page, it will have that copyright detail. And then finally, trademarks. To protect the Nike logo, Just Do It, the slogan. So you can use a trademark to protect the symbols of the business, as it were. Now, there's not much else to say about this. It comes up in the exam. You need to know it off by heart because they know that students at the lower end will mix them up. So it's quite easy for them to ask a question. John has an invention. Which one of these should he be using to protect his invention? And obviously the answer is patent. Susan's just written a book. Which one of these should she use to protect her book? and the answer being copyright. So it's worth taking a little bit of time, repetition, maybe create some revision cards so that you can test yourself, but essentially you need to know this off by heart because it could come up in the exam, and it probably will do because it's a really easy topic to ask a question on. So if you're in my class and you need any help with this, then please just come and give me a shout. If you're not in my class then and you need some more help, Tutor to You, B Business B, other websites out there like Bite Size will have some more information, but I hope you found what was in this video useful.